Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Bella Arianti. I'm from State University of Jakarta in Economic Education Study Program and Concentration of Accounting Education. Today, I would like to present about my thesis proposal. The title is The Effect of Learning Facilities and Learning Motivation on Learning Achievement in Number Processing Application Lessons, Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School, Jakarta. And then my first supervisor is Mr. Dr. Indra Pahala MSI, and my second supervisor is Mrs. Dwi Kismayanti Respati SPD MAK. Okay, this is the discussion of my thesis proposal. There are chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. First, chapter 1 is background. This is the picture of PISA result survey and the Human Capital Index survey. According to research by the Program for International Student Assessment from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, in 2019, Indonesia was ranked 72nd with scores of reading 371, mathematics 379, and science 396. Meanwhile, the World Bank survey result in the Human Capital Index, Indonesia was ranked 87 out of 157 countries. But of these results are the quality of education in Indonesia is still low. Why? The reason is low quality teachers, low motivation students, many admin burdens of teachers, infrastructure not yet adequate, and management school not yet arranged good. Okay, next, the learning achievement at 48 Vocational High School Jakarta. The achievement of minimum completeness criteria of mid-semester and end semester only 50% student. The reason is the learning facilities and the learning motivation. Okay, inadequate learning facilities seen from the many students who don't have laptops and only some students who get learning books from school. Meanwhile, the low learning motivation seen from the many students who don't concentrate at the time of learning. And then, some students are often late in submitting assignment or even not doing it. And many students who don't test carelessly. So this has an impact of the result of the mid-semester and end semester assessment that only 50% students who reach the minimum completeness criteria. And next, research question. 1. Is there any influence among learning facilities to learning achievements in number processing application lesson Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School? 2. Is there any influence among learning motivation to learning achievement in number processing application lesson Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School? And then 3. Is there any influence among learning facilities and learning motivation to learning achievement in number processing application lesson Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School, Jakarta? And then the research purpose. First, to determine whether there is influence among learning facilities to learning achievement in number processing application lesson Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School, Jakarta. And 2, to determine whether there is influence among learning motivation to learning achievement in number processing application lessons Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School, Jakarta. And 3, to determine whether there is influence among learning facilities and learning motivation to learning achievement in number processing application lesson Class X Accounting Student at 48 Vocational High School, Jakarta. And the benefit of research. The research results are expected to produce practical or theoretical benefits. Yeah, there are including first theoretical benefit. This research can be used as a relevant reference in effort to develop knowledge, especially in the field of accounting education. And then practical benefit. First, for researchers, this research is a form of implementation of the learning that has been obtained while studying at economic education in State University of Jakarta. And two, for school, this research can be used as a reference for school, so that in the future they can develop student achievement. And three, for university, this research can provide insight for the academic community State University of Jakarta regarding the influence of learning facilities and learning motivation on learning achievement. And then the results can be used as a reference for future researchers who want to research in the same topic. And last, for society, the results of this research can be used as a reference in improving children's achievements. And then research novelty. There are secondary data is learning achievement in the period of making research, and the research method is survey method. Okay, next chapter 2, the supporting theory. A. Learning achievement of number processing application lesson. Definition of learning achievement according to KBBI and according to expert. According to the Indonesian Dictionary, there are learning is effort to get intelligence or knowledge, and achievement is result that have been obtained. And according to Tirtonegoro 2011, learning achievement is value that reflect the child achievement at a certain time. And Muhibin 1995, learning achievement is measure of student success in reach the study goals. Badrus and Hamda 2018, learning achievement is value or number that reached by student in study. And last, Lomu and Widodo 2018, learning achievement is result on learning activities, carry out a text, and exam. The next characteristic of number processing application lesson. The definition, according to Iwayan Warmada, number processing application is table containing values which arrange in line or column. And types of number processing application lesson, there are Microsoft Excel, K-Split, Abacus, Lotus 123, and WinZ. And then learning material is concept, formula of mathematics, statistics, financial, data and time, chart, logic, and looks up. And then accounting cycle of service company. Next, influencing factor learning achievement. According to Rosid et al. 2019, there are internal factors from inside a student and external factors from outside self-student. Muhibin 2008, there are internal factors from inside student, external factors from outside self-student, and approach study divided into surface, deep, and achievers. And last, Azad and Puspitasari 2020, there are internal factor is related condition of student, and then external factor is related condition of outside student. Okay, next, the various learning achievement. According to Safi et al. 2018, Bloom, Giovanna et al. 2020, and Winkle 1996. There are cognitive is ability to remember information, affective is attitude and sensitivity to something, psychomotor is ability to move body parts and adapt. And last, according to Jane 1992, there are information verbal is expression the opinion, attitude is enthusiastic to learning and interaction with friends, motor skills carry out attacks, cognitive strategy is activeness study, and intellectual skills is independent study. Okay, next, the learning achievement indicator. According to Sujana 2009, there are verbal information, intellectual skills, cognitive skills, motor skills, and attitude. And second, according to Monday 2020, there are cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And Rosit et al. 2019, there are create, sense, and intention. B. Learning facilities. The definition of learning facilities. According to Muhroji 2006, learning facilities is everything in shape, movable, or immovable which used in study. Sopiatin 2010, learning facilities is means or infrastructure in management education. Anwar and Casiano 2018, learning facilities is everything that support learning activities. And last, Johanna et al. 2020, learning facilities is means or infrastructure to expedite the learning process. Various learning facilities. According to Sanjaya 2011, there are means such as school supplies, learning media and learning tools, infrastructure such as lighting and access to school. And second, Suryo Subroto 2004, there are learning tools, visual aids, and learning media. Zakaria et al. 2020, there are study equipment, learning media, study aids, and study room. Okay, this is the learning facilities indicator. According to the Liangji 2002, there are study rooms, lighting, equipment, and handbooks. Selama 2013, there are study rooms, study furniture, study aids, and learning resources. And Soviet in 2010, there are land acquisition planning, school building, school equipment, teaching media, and library. C. Learning motivation. According to Laka et al. 2020, learning motivation is non-intellectual psychological condition to increase enthusiasm for learning. Daliono 2010, learning motivation is driving force for learning. And Octavia 2020, learning motivation is driving force from within or outside of students to reach learning goals. The influencing factor learning motivation. According to Putri et al. 2021, there are physical and mental health, environmental condition, learning facilities, and teacher communication. Muslim et al. 2019, there are goals, parents' attention, student ability, physical and spiritual condition, environmental condition, and teacher effort. And Rubiana and Dedi 2020, there are needs, goals, ways, reward, and environmental condition. And last, Dimyati and Mujiono 2006, there are goals, learning abilities, student condition, and environmental condition. The learning motivation indicator, there are, according to Lestari and Muhammad 2017, study needs, interest and attention to text, diligent doing the text, tenacious to face the difficulty, and ways to succeed. Makmum 2007, there are attitude, frequency, persistent, duration, sacrifice, fortitude, tenacity, ability to face the difficulty, qualification level, and aspiration level. Nasra and Mufiah 2020, there are ways to succeed, encourage learning, diligent doing the task, existence, interesting activities, tenacious to face the difficulty, and happy to solve the problems. And Handoko 2014, there are ways to success, study time, willing to sacrifice, diligent and persistence. Okay, next, the grand theory of facility theory. According to Daraja 2001, facilities is everything for expedite and make it easy the job. And according to Kotler 2009, everything that is provided to consumer. And Ciptono 2016, facilities is tangible resources before the service is offered to consumer. And the various of facilities are health, education, economic, public, transportation, entertainment, and sport, and religious. And next, the motivation theory. According to Maslow, there are physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. McClellan, there are achievement needs, power needs, and affiliation needs. According to Clayton Alderfer, there are existence needs, relatedness needs, and growth needs. Yep, this is the hypothesis. First hypothesis is learning facilities influential positive on learning achievement. Second hypothesis is learning motivation influential positive on learning achievement. Third hypothesis is learning facilities and learning motivation influential positive on learning achievement. The constellation of influence between the variables can be described on this picture. Learning facilities is x1, variable x1, and learning motivation is the second variable x, and on learning achievement is variable y. Okay, and next, this is the last chapter 3. There are research time. This research will be carried out in May 2022, and the research place is 48 Vocational High School Jakarta at Street Radin Inten 2, number 3, Klender Durensawit, East Jakarta, and the research approach and method is quantitative and survey method. The population and sample is Class X Accounting and Financial Institution student at 48 Vocational High School, as many as 72 people. Okay, the instrument grill of learning facilities variable. The indicator school building, sub-indicator school building condition, rooms condition in school, study room, there are classroom condition and study room condition in-house. Learning resources is book quantity and quality and learning module, and the learning media use. Study supplies and equipment, there are availability of study supplies and availability of study equipment. And then instrument grill of learning motivation variable, the indicator, study needs, sub-indicator, school attendance, follow learning activities, attention to teacher at study, and active at study. Diligent doing the tasks, do tasks as ordered, collect assignment on time, and not cheat or copy friends' work. Tenacious to face the difficulty, there are diligent acts to ask to teacher, discuss with friends, and looking for reference to solve problem. And study time, there are read learning material before meeting in class, repeat learning material in-house, and sacrifice time for study. And last, existence ways to success, learning before exam, not cheat at exam, and participate in various competition. Okay, the last is scoring scale for variable x instrument. The answer are very agree, doubt, disagree, and very disagree. The score positive start from 5 to 1, and score negative start from 1 to 5. The data collection techniques. This research use questionnaires and documentation, and analysis data techniques. This research use descriptive statistical analysis, multiple regression analysis, requirements analysis test, the coefficient correlation test, and coefficient determination test. Okay, I think it's enough about my thesis proposal presentation. Thanks for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.